president of Hub City. He's also the newly appointed F23 area director. And the name of his speech is Winning by Default. Help me to welcome Frank.
We are the champions. We are the champions of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it feels great to win. You feel like a champion. On the other hand, when you win by default, it feels awkward. Thank you, Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen. When I first came in 2 years ago, I was scared. It was very awkward for me. But during that process, I was encouraged to enter my first contest, which was a table topics contest. And I studied as much as I could. I prepared as much as I could. Really, it was just setting up my mind frame, because in the table topics contest, you are asked right there on the spot. So you do not prepare something beforehand. You just prepare yourself mentally. So I went in ready to fight, ready to win, and I got second place. There was only two of us, but I got second place. The first place winner backed out, so I filled in for her, and I went to the area contest, and I got third place. There was different areas there, and I got third place out of 3 contestants. I was starting to see a pattern. I was winning by default. This year, I entered the contest again, this time the humorous contest, and I prepared, I studied, I gave it my all, and I'm proud to say that I came in second place out of 2 contestants. Again, winning by default. But good things started happening. Because I had prepared, because I had challenged myself to enter these contests regardless of the outcome, people were starting to notice. And the following day, I was invited to attend a Zoom meeting in San Antonio to give that same speech. So more people got to hear my speech. And as I gave it more and more often, it was getting better and better and better to now I think I have a winning speech for next year, but I won't be entering the contest next year. Because another challenge came up. I rose to the occasion, and I will now be the area director for F23. So that prohibits me from entering contests, but I will be in charge of running those contests. So that's something. And I'm glad that I was able to do that. I'm glad that I'm able to take on these new responsibilities. And now I'm seeing things in a whole different light. Yes, I've been winning by default, but by doing that, I've been becoming more prodigious, because I'm able to get the experience and get the mindset, because I have to tell myself, right now, it doesn't matter that you're not the top, because one day I will be. I will be going to the top. But I'm taking those steps. Today, I won another contest or raffle for our library. They had an event last week where you could make a fantasy map, and the adults that entered, they would be entered in a raffle. And I have my prize right here. I got a pen, a pencil, a cup, and a coupon for a free lunch. And I won first place out of 1 contestant. So winning by default has been paying off. But one day I will be a champion of the world, and it won't be by default, ladies and gentlemen.
Toastmasters, so good to be here today.
Who would have thought this timid young man, Frank, would have learned to speak up and serve as Hub City Toastmasters president? Who would have thought this young man would have given up T-shirts to be the best dressed at Hub City Club meetings? Who would have thought that this young man who wanted to be a leader will be Toastmasters area director in a few days? Who would have thought that given this nice book to me a few months ago that I could use it today for my talk? Thank you, members and guests who have helped Frank become the prodigious leader he is today. Congratulations and happy birthday, Frank. Madam Toastmaster.
Luisa.
Oh, where am I going? I can't walk. I'm getting up like, I can walk. No, Lucy, you can't.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Luisa, sometimes I just don't understand your humor. It's so warped and demented. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, if we have any, that's something I've heard almost all my life. So when I say a joke and nobody laughs, I don't worry about it. It's your problem that you didn't get the joke or you don't have my demented humor style. Never did I think I would meet someone that was almost on the same lines as me. And then in walked Frank. This is something that I've always wanted a baby brother just to torment him. And it's worked out so well for me because I don't have to buy him anything on Christmas if I don't want to. We're not related. But here today, it's Frank's birthday, Juneteenth, where all the black people of the United States are celebrating Black Month and all this stuff. I don't know why he was born on Juneteenth. He should have been born on Cinco de Mayo. I still don't get it. Again, warped sense of humor. I love it. Frank and I were riding to the Junction Cafe just a few months ago, and he said, I want to enter the humorous contest. And I said, really? He said, yes. I said, do you already have a topic? And he said, yes, suicide. Oh my God. Anyway, so the beauty of our warped sense of humor is we can take this to the point where it really gets disturbing. So I said, wow, suicide. Frank, you know what? If you give a speech, a humorous one on suicide, at the end of the speech, you can tell the judges, and if I don't win, I'm going to hang myself, so let me win. And he's like, wow, I like that idea. And then I said, Frank, do you have a title for your speech? And he says, as a matter of fact, I do. It's No Noose is Good News. And I'm like, I love it. I love it. So this is the kind of warped sense of humor that Frank and I share. Happy birthday, Frank. I absolutely love this. I have noticed lately, and I'm going to have to make a request. Frank, sometimes my dad would say, you don't give whiskey to an Indian or a Mexican because, you don't give whiskey to an Indian and you don't give authority to a Mexican because it goes to their head. Frank's getting there, but I'm going to control that. We're working on it. So he's area director or going to be area director in a few days. And I remember I texted him and I asked him if he could do something. And he said, as area director, I have to request that you don't do that. And I said, it's not July 1st, Frank, okay? Don't go pushing it. Don't go pushing it. And then today he sent me a text. And I have to share this with you because he says, oh, no, it was a voicemail. He says, Luisa, he said, as current Club City President Frank, I'm just returning your call to, Luisa, just call me. So it sounded really official the first half, and then he just said, Luisa, just call me. So, Frank, I've gotten to know you. I still like you. And And I wish you a happy birthday, happy roasting, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Carl here, baby brother to Phyllis Allen. I guess I came down to meet her and then got to go out with her and Lisa and Frank. That would be 2 years ago when he was just starting. And what impressed me was not his speaking, but his kindness in wanting to help Louisa in any way he could. You'll be making an impact on more and more people by your kindness than you will your speeches, but I hope you also get a championship speech someday.
All right. I actually took a few notes. Thank you, General Evaluator, for asking me after I've completed my full deck on what I thought about Frank's speech. The whole idea of being able to give a speech is giving it and then getting constructive criticism to improve the way you gave a speech. And if there is one thing I have to commend Frank on, because there is only one thing I can commend it on, but if that one thing is the fact that when I make a suggestion, he actually processes it, thinks about it, and says, you know what, that's a great idea, let me do that. He started one of his other speeches singing a song, so when he came up here and started singing, well, that wasn't singing if you ask me, but when he came up here and did his rendition of We Are the Champions, I absolutely loved it because it's a different opening. It gets the audience's attention. It was a critique I offered, and he took it and ran with it, and I absolutely love that he's able to be receptive to that. When I first met Frank, again, I said he was nice and shy. What happened? Anyway, so great humor in the speech. Congratulations on the area director. And I loved that at the very end, he inspired all of us, or he inspired myself, because I've been told that I speak for others and I shouldn't. So he inspired me by saying he would be at the top one day. Great speech. Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator.